Good evening, everybody. This is Eugene Mathena, and today we're going to visit on Google Earth the town I live in, Pulaski. I'm going to take you for a stroll through downtown Pulaski. And I might even show you where my house is. So let's go up here and punch in Pulaski, Virginia. Let's use some southern accent here. I want to take you guys to Pulaski, Virginia, my country. See where I live? Ta-da! Right in the smack mountains. In the mountains. There's Calpe Park. Is that cool? That's an old park. It's like a landmark in Pulaski. Let's see if I can get some pictures to come up for you. Hopefully that'll show. Some of these pictures don't seem to want to show up using this program that I use to record this. Calpe Park. The Yankees aren't here no more. They run the Yankees out of town, send them back up north. I think it's like the River Turtles now. I hardly ever go to these games. I hear them during the summer and spring when they're letting off fireworks and all that hoo-ha. But isn't that cool? See if it shows something. Hopefully you guys can see these pictures I'm looking at. There they are. Calpe Park. I think it was built like in the 30s. It's pretty old. These pictures here look like they're from 2019, so that's been several years ago. And it's changed a lot. They've built a lot to it since then. And actually you can see my house right now from this picture, this view right now. I think my cousin lives over here somewhere. And then I'm right over here. Right there's my property. There's actually a strip of land right here. There's a house here now. Someone built a house here. But in between me and this house, there is actually another lot of land. I'd like to be able to buy that land and stretch my fence line out just a little bit more. I'll go down on the street here and let you. Okay, there's the old house right there that they actually tore that house down, and there's a newer house now built there. Right there's my little house. Isn't it homey? But it don't look like that now. I've done a lot of work to it. All of this lattice is gone. That tree there is actually larger now, and I've got a tree here now. So, and all of this right here is not out of control. That was back when I was working a lot more than I do now, and a lot harder, and I didn't feel like mowing that bank, so I actually pay someone to do it now for me during the summer and spring. And there's the street I live on. We'll go down here a little bit and turn back around, look at the house. Isn't that awesome? Those lines are still there. And my property goes all the way back. And there's an alleyway way back here. I'll show you. Come on now. Don't start acting silly. Well, this thing's done flipped its lid. There we are. Okay. Now where's the... Let me find the ballpark. There it is. Okay. Now we were looking at my home. Now. I believe that's us right there. So see, there's the front of my home where we were at looking. And back here is where my property line is. So that's a pretty good chunk of land there. And so I'll take you through downtown Pulaski. Take you downtown here. If I can find Main Street. There's the creek I take a picture of every now and then. That water runs straight through town. Pretty crazy. Down here, I think is where Jefferson Mills was. I worked there for a long time. I was there like 15 years. We'll walk downtown. This is starting from the west side of Pulaski. We're going to walk on up all the way through Main Street. There's a dude getting in his truck. Crazy. I wonder if he knows he's on Google Earth. Looks like his red light's yellow. We're going to go ahead and run it though. How's that sound? There's downtown. Give this thing time to catch up. Wow. Look at when this image date was, 2012. You're looking at Pulaski 11 years ago, people. I thought it looked kind of different. Those trees aren't there, I don't think, anymore. Grandma's attic is actually back here now. It's actually somewhere up through here, it seems like now. There's the courthouse. It was built in 1895. Pulaski is actually a young town. It was founded in like 1886, somewhere in that area, 1885. It was actually called Martin's Tank in the beginning of Pulaski. It wasn't called Pulaski, it was called Martin's Tank because the railroad, as the railroad was beginning to flourish, there was a water tank in the area. I'll show you where it was at, the water tank, and that's where the trains would stop and get water to make steam for their train as it would come through. And from that water tank, the town began to grow. And it eventually changed its name to Pulaski because the county was called Pulaski. And the county was built, Wytheville gave up half of its territory, and Montgomery County gave up a little bit of its territory, and they formed Pulaski County. That's how Pulaski County became to be. And there's the courthouse. We're going to walk on down to the red light, and then I'll make a right turn and we'll go up to the park. That right there used to be the power company, and there's some apartments up in here, and I used to have some friends that lived in those apartments. Seems like I had a family member or two that lived in there, a friend or two I know that lived up in those apartments. Right there's a movie theater. Me and one of the boys I used to run around with when I was a kid, we used to hit that theater about every week, and we've seen, I could make a list and list and list of movies I've seen there. And years ago, it's been several years ago, someone took it, and they took a bunch of donations and stuff to refurbish it and restore it, all of that, and everybody gave money to see it restored. I guess most people gave money to see it restored so they can go there every week like it used to be and watch a movie. But they usually have everything but a movie there. The next movie, Hunger Games. Well, I mean, that's just happened by chance that they actually showed a movie at the time this picture was taken, because they hardly ever show movies there. I mean, back when that place was a theater, you could go and see a real double feature movie. You could see one movie and another movie right behind it for $1. $1. I mean, and now they don't even, it barely ever show a movie. And all those people donated to have that theater restored. And most of them, like I said, most of them did so they could watch a movie. And they never show no movie. Hardly ever there. It's mostly just live performances and stuff like that. We just made a right turn on Main Street. We're headed south now on Washington Avenue. That right there used to be a theater years ago too. It was called the Dalton Theater. And years ago that used to be a haircutting place. And I would go there with my dad to get my hair cut, and we would walk out on this little thing right here and look at the creek below. I'll make a turn up here and let you see what I used to walk out on. It was that right there. It was pretty fun. See the creek? There's a church way over there. I've been meaning to. I'm kind of interested in that little church. I don't know how they would accept visitors, but I'd like to go there sometime and just one Sunday morning and hit that church up and see what all they do there. There's the post office. That's a beautiful post office. It's made in kind of like the Jefferson style. See how it looks? It's kind of the Jefferson style, Thomas Jefferson style of his home. And up here is the park, and this is where the tank that I was telling you about, Martin's tank, was located. Right there's the Captain Teeny's cannon I talk about on my Facebook page. There's a World War I, I believe, cannon. There's the Confederate statue honoring the Confederate soldiers of Pulaski and the lives and the blood they shed for standing up for against tyranny. And there's the town of Pulaski monument, and on each side it honors different wars and the soldiers that died in those wars. It seems like that right there is a time capsule, and the tank was down here in that area, I do believe. It's probably closer to the tracks though, but it was down in that area. And all of this land was donated by the railroad right here. to be used as a park. So it's actually not government land or public property, I don't think. It was actually donated by the railroad. It may still be owned by the railroad, as far as I'm concerned. And there's a museum, and that right there used to be the old Maple Shade Inn. And we'll keep going this way across the railroad track. Let's look down the tracks while we're over here. Stop. There's down that way. We'll turn around here and look down this way. No train coming, so I guess we can cross. And over here's the old train station. Pretty crazy, ain't it? They were just building the museum at that time. I've been in there like twice. I like looking at their postcards. I need to go back and see if they got any new ones. It's pretty neat. This side of town here used to be pretty nice, but it's turning into a dump now. Yeah, they just let people stand around and stuff and just loiter and don't say nothing about it. You know, people used to want to go to the Hardee's parking lot years ago in their cars even now and sit and talk and chat and stuff, and the police would run them off and, you know, tell them they couldn't sit there and talk and stuff in a parking lot in their own automobiles. But, you know, people can hang around up through here on the street and just stand and everything. Nothing's ever said. Nothing's ever said. Throw their trash, and it's just looking really bad up through here. It looked better back then in 2015 than it does now. And that, my friend, is what Pulaski looks like. That's the town I've been living in since 1983. Seemed like me, Mom, and Dad moved to Pulaski from Dublin in 1983. And it's been about 40 years now that we've lived here. I appreciate you watching the video and going around in memory lane with me for a little bit. And sometime or another, I'll do another one for you. If there's any place you want me to study or look at using Google Earth, just leave a comment and I'll be glad to check something out for you and we'll do some studying. Thank you for watching. God bless you.